Oops, my mic wasn't on. How are you doing today? Happy October. I think it's been quite a bit of time since I've been back on here. It's been kind of chaotic, honestly, and just way too much going on to continue to live stream. But it's interesting because you strive for consistency, otherwise you kind of fall out of the routine, right? So I've definitely fallen out of the routine, I think, starting in September, and now I'm here. I wanted to start this session, with a little grounding. Here, if you're not familiar with tuning forks, here I have tuned G and C. G and C are very lovely. It's a great combination, especially to relax if you've had a stressful day. You want to start your day off in this way. It's amazing for that. So even just before bed, I love using these tuning forks. I've kind of started today in a little very hectic manner, let's just say. So I am going just to start with a little grounding here. They do say when you have your first exhale while doing this, it means that you don't need to do it anymore. But I do find that if you feel a little relaxed after, it's definitely doing the job. It's a really beautiful tune. Soon I'll have my mic working, so I can actually, you can probably hear this a little bit better. But for now, it is what it is. Yeah, so happy October. We're a few days in. What a beautiful time of year. It's my favorite, the fall. We had the fall equinox recently. We also had a really big astrological event this week and, a really big eclipse. So if you've been feeling it, intense emotions, things with relationships, kind of feeling scatterbrained, this is very normal. The eclipse brings in a lot of energy that can be kind of hard to deal with, but it's a really good time to just relax, do a little more like introspective work, and pull tarot cards. So I wanted to kind of start today. I'm not using this deck today, but I found this card this morning, and it's from my Medicine Woman deck, but I just love what it says here, so I'll read that to you just before we start this reading. So, welcome energies of earth, air, fire, and water. Let us create a life of beauty, reverence, and wonder. With each season, let us rejoice. Through every phase of the sun and moon, let us be in harmony. In every direction shall we offer our love. Let the reading begin. So, something I've also kind of just been catching up, but something I have been wanting to do this week that I haven't done is journal a little bit more. So this journal that I have, again, I love sharing resources on here. This is a journal by Chani Nicholas. I might be pronouncing her name totally wrong. If you guys are, she's pretty big, so you may be familiar with her. But she has this really awesome card pull for every month. And it is a 3-card pull. So I just wanted to do that today, and share that with you guys, and maybe it's something you can take with you as you continue to pull some cards. So let me just change the scene really quick. Okay, so again, if you guys aren't familiar with tarot, I use the Rider-Waite tarot deck. It's the most common tarot deck. I primarily like this one because, I mean, one, it's the most original. A lot of the new artwork and things like that come from this particular tarot deck. So, really cool. Anyway, so there's a 3 card pull, and each card I will, I will go over shuffling if that's something that you are, not familiar with. But the first card is, what does this card say about what I'm ready to release this month? I love this question because we tend to harbor and hold on to a lot of things. And it's a really nice, reflective question, especially starting a new month. So, and again, for anyone who's not super familiar with shuffling tarot in general, shuffling tarot, there is no particular way to shuffle, but there are recommendations. The biggest thing is really putting the intention into your shuffle. So this particular question is around what I'm ready to release this month. So as I shuffle, I will continue to, speak to the deck and allow it to speak to me. So what am I ready to release this month? I typically start with my dominant hand, pull from under, but that's how I like to start. And I will then this way cut the deck into 3 so you can see this. What am I ready to release this month? Oh wow, okay. What am I ready to release this month? So this card is the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups. So I really like to kind of just discuss the symbology in the cards themselves. So I'll back up here. As you can see, the 7 of Cups shows a person with 7 different cups and options. Cups typically represent relationships, self, creativity. So, and with this, there are different, I guess let's call them offerings in these cups. Some of them look very, positive. Let's say jewelry, the castle, I forget the term for it, but this crown right here. But then there's others which seem a little dark. This, I don't want to call it a ghost. Let's say it's a phantom, a snake. The jewelry could also be seen as something as, I wouldn't say negative, but you could coin it as something you are maybe obsessed with money. Not obsessed with money, but it's more of a materialistic thing. So, for this particular card, the 7 of Cups, it's really just showing the number of choices that you have. They can be exciting, they can be alluring, but also something to consider is something maybe too good to be true. Really just consider what the options are, and really think about it before jumping the gun. I think this card is a lot about choices and illusion. So when I think about this and what I am ready to release this month, it's this abundance of choices, of feeling like I'm being pulled in so many different directions, and maybe things coming up for me that may not necessarily be in the long run good for me. But again, back to the many, many different choices is really just evaluating and setting the right intention to move forward. So I see this as with the many different things that's going on in life, really try to hone in on, okay, what do I want? What do I want to manifest? What does my future goal look like? Do these choices kind of align with that, and kind of work from there? So I do see this as just really kind of digging deeper into self and into what these different paths that life gives you or gives me, let's say. And yeah, just reflecting on that. Also, when it's, a reverse card, it typically means that, um, there's a blockage or something like that, or there's something having to do with self. It kind of can be seen as negative. Some people don't read the, let's just say, they don't necessarily read the reversed card. I mean, sometimes it always kind of leads back to meaning the same thing, but it's always interesting to kind of read through that. Something else that I can do and I like to do, it's also been a moment since I've actually read tarot, so we can also take some time and look at some resources. So I love to read Biddy Tarot, is one of my favorites. I'll do a quick screen share for anyone who's joined here. So let's see, this is the Seven of Cups. Let's see. So, something that's really helpful in tarot, and there is no right or wrong reading, but the reason why I like to look at the symbology is because it usually speaks a lot to the card. And interestingly enough, in the reversed, it's around alignment, personal values, overwhelmed by choices. And that was something that I thought about because it is a choice card. It is about the things that, life is presenting you. I love Biddy Tarot because there's a description that digs into the symbology. I'll just do a quick read on this right now. In the Seven of Cups, a man stands before 7 cups filled with various gifts. Some cups bear desirable gifts, such as jewels and a wreath of victory, but others hold gifts that are not gifts at all. Instead, they are curses, such as the snake or dragon. The clouds and the cups symbolize the man's wishes and dreams, and the different gifts inside suggest that you need to be careful what you wish for, as not everything is as it seems. Choices need to be made, but in doing so, you must go beyond illusion and allure and focus on what's right for you. I guess a quick reflection on this is pretty relatable. I mean, I think it can be relatable to a lot of people, maybe. There's always a lot of choices to make. There's a lot of people to see. How can I, really honor what I need and my body needs, even when these things are presented to me? How can I honor what I really want in life, and looking beyond that illusion? So, that concludes the first card. So let's go back and we can pull the next card. So the second card for this monthly pull is asking, what kind of skills can I develop in this current moment? What can support me this month? So I will now do a shuffle. What skills can I develop to support me? What skills can I develop to support me? Oh, okay. What an interesting card. Okay. So the Devil is a major arcana card. It's a very big life theme. It's interesting to see this as like a skill to support. But the devil, usually can be seen as like not a great card. There is no such thing as not a good card, however. It can be seen as negative because, again, I think when we typically think about devil, you think of something evil, something that you might be maybe addicted to, and yeah, the interesting thing about this card, I mean, here you see Baphomet. Baphomet is, he symbolizes the devil. He's also the, would you say, goat? Sometimes you could even think about it as Capricorn. I mean, I won't get into like the nitty gritty of that, but it's an interesting, I guess, way to see how the connection of certain symbols are related. You'll also see two humans, chained up here, to this devil. So, I see this as, again, something really alluring, something that may be an addictive quality that I can let go of. And in terms of supporting me, it would be best if I did let go of what that addiction or something that isn't serving me or doing me any good go. This you can kind of see this in many different ways depending what your intention is, but I will also quickly pull up the Biddy Tarot interpretation really quick because there's a lot more in this card and the meaning overall. So, yes, the devil, general typical things: shadow, self, attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality. Again, I did see this as an addiction thing. I think, we all have maybe some addictive qualities, perhaps. I know I definitely do. And it's something I've been trying to kind of be a little more, let's just say, aware of when I am really just giving in. But I think it has a lot to do with like the inability to cope with certain things. So addiction, comes up in so many different ways. It could just be shopping, it could be gambling, it could be drug related, it could be just going out really, just overdoing something. It could also be like working out. Like I find myself, I need certain things to really just keep myself going, but sometimes it kind of masks other things that's going on internally. Anyway, the devil description, I will read this because I find this card to be really, really interesting. So the devil card shows Baphomet, or the horned goat of Mendes. A creature that is a half man, half goat. Baphomet originally represented the balance between good and evil, male and female, and the human and animal. However, more recently, this figure has been linked to the occult and has become a scapegoat for all things considered evil. Yes, and it's very interesting also symbology over time, how things, change based on, let's just say, the higher forces above us who kind of dictate what that could mean. Also, let's take a pause. It's 3:33 here. I'm in Eastern time, so just make a wish. Just kidding. Okay, so but not really. I love to just take a moment. I wouldn't say like every angel number, let's make a wish, but it's a nice moment to just like reflect on yourself and take a moment for yourself. So it's not like, oh, let's make a wish every time. It's like 11:11. Anyway, I'll finish reading this really quick. The devil has the wings of a vampire bat, an animal that sucks the lifeblood out of its prey, symbolic of what happens when you give in to your raw desires. He has a hypnotic stare which magnetizes and entrances those who come near him, bringing them under his power. Above him is an inverted pentagram, a sign of a darker side of magic and occultism. He raises his right hand in the Vulcan salute, a Jewish blessing. Interesting, a Vulcan salute, a Jewish blessing. I'll put this card back up here so you can see. Later made famous by the film series Star Trek. Wow, really? That's really interesting. Okay. And in his left hand, he holds a lit torch. At the foot of the devil stand a man and a woman, both naked and chained to the podium on which the devil sits. They appear to be held here against their will, but look closer, and you will notice that the chains around their necks are loose and could be easily removed. Each has small horns on their head, like a devil's, a sign that they are becoming increasingly like him the longer they stay here. Both have tails, a further symbol of their animalistic tendencies and raw instincts, and the grapes and the fire on their respective tails signify pleasure and lust. Yeah, so really back to, the intention on that card pull, it was around what skills can I develop to support me. I saw the card of the devil being letting go of addiction and the shadow attachment to things. It is the shadow side, let's just say. So yeah, it is something I'm working on, and it's very clear that, it's coming up for me this month. All right, back to the tarot pull. So, the next card is asking, what am I calling in, or am I healing or moving towards this month? It's kind of general, but just, what can I move towards? Oops, what can I move towards? Can I move towards? Okay. The Knight of Cups, reversed. I will get into this really quick, but I just want to say hello to people who have joined here today. How are you doing? Where are you tuning in from, if you don't mind me asking? Feel free to send a message in the chat. Okay, so the Knight of Cups. Wow, another cup. Let's see. Another cup card. So in the court cards typically, are queen, king, knight, and page. You can think about each, I guess you can kind of think about them hierarchically. The page is the start of the court cards. It's usually somebody young, starting a new project. The knight is the next level. So the knight typically is someone who is ready to take charge, really to push forward. And in this particular card, you see the knight sitting very firmly on his horse, holding a cup. Again, cups typically represent relationship to self, to others, to creativity. And you do see in, if you can look a little deeper, you can see in his armor or outfit, I think there is a fish there, the little red pieces, which is interesting because to me, I think when I think of fish, I think of Pisces. Pisces are very dreamy. They like to daydream. They are also really creative. So, um, also on the knight, you'll notice these wings on his helmet, wings on his shoes. What's I personally, what first comes to mind for me with the wings is the ability to fly. So I think about this card as, having some creativity and some excitement, um, in what I want in life, and having that, I have all the tools that I need, and I am ready to fly. But because this was in reverse, I would say that there's something blocking me at the moment. So there could be, for me, I do, I am completely blocked. Honestly, I think this card is resonates a lot, and it is something that I would love to heal this month. Is kind of move past these limitations, these limiting self beliefs of like what I want to do, the create, what's this project I'm thinking about, and yeah, and also one thing to note, in a lot of the cards, you'll always notice the backgrounds, especially in the minor arcana cards. And to note about the background, it looks like very serene. It looks like a lot of potential. Maybe I can't tell if it's, but however, this might be like, it's like yellow grass, so maybe it's like overworn or has been beat on a lot by the sun. But you see the water, it's running, it's very clear that it's running, and that's a good sign of like flow and potential. So I think it means that the opportunities exist. It's really just letting go of these limiting self beliefs and just going for it. That's what the knight really wants you to do, is just go for it. So, and just to share, I have been thinking about a random side project that it's been hard for me to get off the ground. Um, Kind of tapping back into my creative juices and really crafting. I used to be someone who really loved crafting, so I want to get back into that, especially once, I don't know, there's a lot going on this month, but I want to make the time, because I know that it's something I've been really thinking about. So, yeah, just I guess a few last things before I wrap up. Um, I think this was a really interesting spread to do. I mean, every month, every beginning of the month, I do this, and I hope it's something you can take with you, because it's really, really powerful. So, again, this first card was, what am I ready to release this month? It was the Seven of Cups reversed. And this was around, kind of moving away from all of this, you know, too many choices and being burned out by too many choices. So, hello, welcome. You're coming right towards the end of my stream, unfortunately, but thank you for joining. I'm just wrapping up on this final, final thoughts on this poll, but I'll give you just a quick overview just because you just missed it. For every beginning of the month, I like to do this card pull from this amazing journal that I have from Chani Nicholas, who's an amazing astrologer. So that's what we're going over at the moment. And yeah, so there was 3 cards. The first one is around like what I would like to release. It's this is really just being overwhelmed with the choices. Oh, thanks. Well, I'm glad you're saying hello. That makes me feel like I'm not talking just to myself. um, so what am I ready to release this month? Yeah, so feeling burned out by all the options and just really honing in on like, what do I want? What's my intention? Coming back to myself. This other card, talks is about what skills can I develop. The devil is, to me right now, it's really letting go of some addictive qualities or things that aren't serving me anymore. There are definitely things that I can do to do that. And then lastly, what can I move towards or heal this month? The Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups, oops, I keep thinking I'm just like on the camera. Sorry, I gotta fix that. The Knight of Cups reversed is really just letting go of limiting beliefs and knowing that my creativity will really serve me and do well. So, oops, okay, sorry. Anyway, yes. I know, to be honest, I need to be a little better with my streaming, Dead Chrome, in terms of consistency. I haven't been super consistent. I need to like schedule too, but I really appreciate you joining and supporting. It's it's just fun to get on here and talk through this stuff because it's kind of just like a learning experience for myself. And I love to share these tools, especially as something for like self-reflection. Also just tuning into like big astrological events. Like again, we just had a big eclipse. And also one thing I will leave with this. I've been kind of getting more into like Vedic astrology. And Vedic astrology is the most ancient astrology. It comes from like Hinduism and Ayurveda. So the predictions are a little bit different, but it was interesting to see that during this time of the eclipse was also a really big time to kind of give thanks and, give thanks to your ancestors. I'm not sure like the total correlation with the eclipse itself, but the period tend to overlap. So something that's just interesting is that, you know, um, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our ancestors. So it's really nice to take that moment and time. But there is something significant about giving thanks. And so, anyway, just wanted to leave you guys with that. Appreciate you joining today. I hope, I will definitely be on again afternoon time sometime next week. My schedule's been kind of all over the place, so I haven't been able to truly schedule it, but I hope to catch you guys again soon. If you wanted to see more of the in-depth reading, definitely check out the VOD on Twitch. And anyway, hope you enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. We'll chat soon. Bye.